Welcome to Crafts and Minis. Hope you're having that awesome week, getting after the hobby, having some fun, enjoying each and every day. That's what this channel tries to encourage, is getting after the hobby just a little bit every day if you can. Right now, to help me do that, I'm doing a hashtag hobby streak challenge. I'm up to day 50 on that challenge, which has really blown me away. When I started it, I had no idea how much I'd enjoy it again, because it's been a few years since I've done a hobby streak challenge. And I think the last one I ended in the 30s, maybe somewhere. Just a day comes along and catches you out of the blue and you don't do any hobby and you're like, well, there goes the streak. But so far, so good. 50 days going strong in the hobby. This week, here's what I was able to accomplish. Doing that hashtag hobby streak challenge, just a little bit in the hobby every day. I was able to do these minis completely, meaning they're even based, which I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but they do have basing material on them, which is a lot of fun. And they're based for 10 millimeter, although these all are originally 28 millimeter scale minis. I've just been a little creative and I'm going to use them for 10 millimeter scale. But if you're getting sick of my 10 millimeter videos, just know this is a 28 millimeter video that is disguised as a 10 millimeter video. So here's what I mean. The first thing I was able to paint up this week were all of these gargoyles from Nolzur's deep cuts from WizKids. And they painted up super fast and dirty. And the reason they're all black is because in my 10 millimeter fantasy game, they're going to be shadow beasts. And compared to 10 millimeter figures, they're actually quite large in scale. I don't know why I grabbed a different one, because they're all the same. But they're quite large in scale compared to 10 millimeter, because especially since these are like crouching over, if they stood up, they'd be like 20 millimeters tall to the head, even taller with the wings, of course. And that's just really cool. And you see I did my basing material on them, which is fun, over my basing technique. These are going to be obviously able to fly in the game. And I originally was messing around with giving them terrifying, because the rule set I'm using, Fantastic Battles, is really flexible in how you create your units. That's what I really love. Like some people for 10 millimeter scale do War Master Revolution, which is totally cool. It's just there's no flexibility in list building. Like if you want to come up with your own creative unit, I don't think you do that in War Master. You do it in Fantastic Battles, and these Shadow Beasts are going to be part of that. So 8 companies, they're called, of Shadow Beasts ready to go. I would have liked to fit more on each base. And you look at them now and you're like, yeah, you probably could have. Well, I was trying to, and it wasn't looking good, or it wasn't fitting out well, or the minis were touching each other, and I just didn't like that. So that's what I got. Economical this week. 8 bases, which is nice, because that's 8 blister packs actually from Deep Cuts Nolzur's range from WizKids for those gargoyles. So that worked out pretty well. The next thing I did was this Ogre from Wildspire Miniatures that I got in that big old box of minis when I did my mail haul video. And you just get one of these in the box. And I really liked him, because when I was painting him, I realized, oh wow, he's got like wounds on him and a messed up shoulder and all that. So I painted that on him too, which worked out pretty cool. And what I'm turning him into is a giant. Now, what helps to turn him into a giant for 10 millimeter scale is, like, notice there's nothing on his belt. There's nothing that would be out of scale in 10 millimeter on his belt. Like, he doesn't have some pouch or a bottle or something like that that would give away the scale. And so this is easy to turn into a 10 millimeter scale giant. The only thing that I'm like, well, would that really be how it is for a giant, is his boots. And now that I say, you can tell, like, what giant is going to have boots like that? But it's all good. They're the boots with the fur. Good times. And I'm just rolling with it. But this is going to be a 10 millimeter giant. Now, it's actually huge compared to like Games Workshop ogres. So here's a Games Workshop ogre for scale. And you can tell this thing towers over it. Towers over it. This is an old Games Workshop ogre that I painted a long time ago too, which is really fun. But I just wanted to bring him out to show you scale. That this ogre will work great for a giant. The last thing I have to show you this week is a Hydra. Now, if you remember, this is going to fill up the whole screen. I did this Hydra weeks ago. And now that I painted it, I want to repaint parts of it and add on some details. But I'm not going to, because what do we say? Done is beautiful. So, yeah, this is a horrible shot at this Hydra. There we go. Going to lean it on some shadow beasts. But this Hydra is my 28 millimeter scale Hydra. This is my World Ender, I'm calling it. Just like I had a World Ender Dragon, this is my World Ender Hydra for 10 millimeter scale. And you can't tell by these shots very well. I mean, you get the sense of how big this one is compared to the other one. Obviously, the green Hydra for 28 millimeter scale is bigger. But this is going to work out really well. First of all, I like how it painted up. I'm pleased as punch with that. I thought it was weird. It has sculpted on these horns on its head that are like flat against its neck, which look weird when you like can tell that those are horns. But I painted them up as horns and they don't look that weird, but it worked out okay. And it's on a 40 by 60 millimeter base. Just because you can do that if you have a longer mini. As long as the frontage is 40 millimeters, you're good to go in this game, Fantastic Battles. And everything's typically on 40 by 40 millimeter bases, square. But this is on a rectangle, which will work out fine. And it's only going to come out very seldom as a world ender to fight like a whole army. It was fun doing the stats for this because I gave it all sorts of craziness. All sorts. But this also is a Wildspire mini. So that was what was really cool, was getting these cheaper minis from Wildspire and trying to figure out what to do with them. And figuring I can use some of them for 10 millimeter gaming. Just, it hit the spot for me. I got to tell you, it hit the spot. So here's what I was able to do this week. A giant, a Hydra, 8 companies of shadow beasts. And even though they're all for 10 millimeter gaming, for my purposes, they're all 28 millimeter scale miniatures. So just remember that when you're hunting after your minis, they can be used for sometimes multiple scales. And that is a good thing in my book. So I just hope you're getting after it. I'm going to continue to do the hashtag Hobby Streak Challenge, getting after it a little bit every day in the hobby. And I hope you're enjoying your hobby as well. Have fun. Go get after that hobby.